Hello everyone, welcome back to Allcarnews. You join me here on this windy day with the all-new 2024 and 2025 GMC Acadia, and we have been driving this particular Denali trim here over the past week, coming in around over $60,000. This Denali trim Acadia is just the pinnacle of the all-new Acadia lineup, which is bigger, more luxurious, and more stylish than ever before. Gone is the smaller architecture of the previous gen Acadia, and now this one moves to the much larger one with the same wheelbase as a GMC Yukon as well. So you're really getting an incredible amount of space and an incredible amount of luxury and tech features now in the Acadia on this latest General Motors digital architecture and platform. So let's go take a full tour, review, and dive into all of the wonderful specs and features of this all-new GMC Acadia. And I'm going to show you why you definitely should be considering one of these new mid-size GM SUVs, because they are packing quite a big punch on this latest generation. Let's go dive in. Now, under the hood of this all-new GMC Acadia is an all-new powertrain. Gone is the V6, and the only engine option now is this 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. This is also following the same with the all-new Chevrolet Traverse, as well as the Buick Enclave, of which all three vehicles are identically on the same platform, same wheelbase as well. And this is actually quite a nice engine. It's not underpowered, I can tell you that. It's making 328 horsepower and around 326 pound-feet of torque. So you're getting quite a potent powertrain here. And with the right package, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds as well. Now, this is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, a new option for the 2024 Acadia as well. Very smooth transmission and pretty much all normal applications as well. And I have to say, this torque definitely comes on real low in the rev range, because you feel that power instantly when you put your foot down. And it doesn't have the best sound, I would say, compared to an old V6, but I think it definitely gets the job done. Though this is an all-new engine, essentially, for this vehicle lineup. It's a big, heavy vehicle. I'm curious to see down the road if there are any issues, what may come up, but we definitely have a lot of time to figure that out. Thankfully, we have nice, good warranties on these vehicles to kind of protect you as a new consumer from that stuff. Also, we are getting all-wheel drive on this particular one. You can get two drive options, of course, for the Acadia. You can get it in pure front-wheel drive, or you can opt for this selectable multi-clutch all-wheel drive system. I'm not a too particular fan of this system, only for the fact that you have to select it into all-wheel drive mode manually, or change the drive mode where it's going to put it into all-wheel drive for you, which doesn't really make that much of a difference. I don't know why it's not a selectable automatic style all-wheel drive system, so it will operate in front-wheel drive in all times when you leave it in normal mode. And if it detects some traction slip, it'll actually say all-wheel drive recommended on the dash. You press the all-wheel drive button, and instantly it just kind of makes all four wheels start spinning when it closes all those clutch plates up and helps you to distribute power. When it does do that, it actually works quite nice. And there is the available Acadia AT4 variant, which is going to get a unique all-wheel drive system with some torque vectoring as well, to help you in more of those rugged all-terrain situations. That's what the AT4 is derived for. But here on this MPG-wise, it's been generally okay. Figures with the all-wheel drive model are down about 1 MPG versus the front-wheel drive model. I've been seeing around 23-ish average on the highway in my own particular testing, though here are the EPA numbers if you do want to view those. Not too bad, actually. If you're coming down from a Yukon, which is a totally feasible option in this vehicle now because it's so big, you're definitely going to notice a huge increase in fuel economy, especially from that V8. Now, as it is an all-new vehicle, the GMC Acadia for this new generation has received a total styling overhaul, and I think it looks incredibly better to suit the part. We have this really bold, boxy shape to kind of mimic and emphasize the much larger dimensions of this all-new generation Acadia, and I really like this big, bold grille we're getting here on the fully loaded Denali trim. Depending on what trim you're going to get, you're also going to get a different grille design. Here we have this very chrome bright finish here with a large GMC logo prominent up front here. And we're getting this new generation style of GMC's signature iconic C-shaped LED headlights here. And we have this really cool LED here that has this dynamic function. It kind of has those sequential turn signals. It does a cool little animation when you unlock and lock the vehicle as well. Really nice luxurious touches there, and pretty bright headlights at night. I will say though, the high beams are really bright, but I would like to see the low beams just to be a little bit brighter. Thankfully, we do get LED fog lights down here as well, which are a really nice touch. And now, of course, depending on the trim you get of your all-new GMC Acadia, you're going to get a few different wheel and tire options This particular one in this GMC Denali is getting massive 22-inch wheels. Yes, on an Acadia Denali, we're getting 22-inch wheels now. And I think this is all part of GM's strategy to really kind of attract those Yukon, Tahoe buyers within the GM brand, and maybe they want to increase their fuel economy or just downsize just a little bit, and they're getting those luxury features they're more used to on those full-size SUVs on this mid-size Acadia, which is offering just almost as much space as those full-size SUVs. So I like to see this 22-inch wheel be brought down here. It's kind of nice to see it here, and it looks really nice on this Denali trim. Nice bright finish over here, and we're rocking Continental rubber over here. This wheel and tire combo has been pretty good. I really haven't noticed any road noise coming into the cabin. So I think in this space, it both looks good and performs well on the road. Now, coming around to the rear of the all-new GMC Acadia, this is where you're really going to see its sibling partnerships and some components here that we're going to find in the Traverse as well, and that's really going to be in this exhaust department. So just like on the Traverse, we're getting quad exhaust tips for a 4-cylinder engine. Is it necessary? Absolutely not, but it actually does look quite nice. And I think the design on this is pretty sleek and nice. It looks a little bit Chrysler Pacifica-like in this upper portion here, but they didn't give it a full light bar. We have this blacked out trim here with the Denali badge, front and center, and these really nice C-shaped LED taillights, which also do some nice animations when locking and unlocking the vehicle. So I think overall, very clean and sleek, and it all kind of works in with this boxier finish here to, again, help improve that cargo space and storage capacity on the interior. Now with this tailgate open here is where the GMC Acadia, the new Traverse, and the new Enclave are really having a huge advantage over the competitors. We are getting around 23 cubic feet behind the third row. That's more than some competitors such as the Toyota Grand Highlander, Honda Pilot, the Ford Explorer, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee. You're getting a huge amount of space in this space behind your third row, and opening the floor here reveals even more storage. So you're never really going to be hunting for space in this GMC Acadia. And since we have the Denali one here, we actually have power controls located on our passenger side over here to fold down our third and second rows, which is a wonderful option. Folding down that third row is going to give you around 57 cubic feet of cargo space. Folding down that second row is going to give you around 97 cubic feet of cargo space in a mid-size SUV, not even a full-size SUV. So all of you Yukon, Tahoe, maybe even short wheelbase Escalade family members, listen up, because these new mid-size SUVs are really packing a load amount of features and cargo space. Now, the second row passengers are also getting a fantastic amount of space back here. Again, climbing in and out of the Acadia Denali is so easy. You have a giant opening, big giant doors you can open and close as well, and just check out all of the materials we're getting on this door panel over here. One feature I would like to see in this GMC Acadia Denali is some sunshades. It might be an option, though it is not on this particular one, unfortunately. That would be a nice touch, though we do have rear privacy glass on these absolutely massive windows back here. We have a nice grab hook over here, as well as air vents mounted in the roof, and we do get our own climate controls and heated seats in the second row as well, which is a nice touch, so we can control air fan speed and temperature as well, which is a wonderful feature. 2 cup holders back here for passengers, which is a nice feature, and we also are getting 2 USB-C ports as well as a 12-volt socket. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a household socket right here, so that's a really nice, wonderful touch if you want to charge some more powerful electronic devices in this second row. Legroom and footroom is also impressive over here. I have plenty of foot space underneath these front seats. As we can see, we have some cutouts over here, which is a really nice touch. And these seats are moved forward, actually, so I can actually move this seat further back if I want to with a manual control. So now I have even more legroom in the second row, though that will compromise our third row passenger space though. And these seats themselves are incredibly comfortable. They have a lot of cushion support, thigh support, leg support, nice stitching. There isn't really so much of bolstering, unfortunately, which would be a nice touch for these captain's chairs, but otherwise I think they are quite nice and comfortable. And again, this gigantic panoramic glass roof really helps to open up the cabin back here, and it goes all the way past the second row passengers' heads. So that's a really nice feature back here to really help open up this space. And again, if you have kids in the second row and they want to just climb back here pretty easily, I can even do so as an adult. It's so big of a space. I can literally just hop back in this third row once again and sit back here pretty comfortably. So this new Acadia really is improving on its interior cargo volume and space and comfort for passengers. Really impressive. And I do like these little armrests for the second row captain's chairs. We're going to hop inside just to escape this wind here. shut up these gigantic doors. And again, we're seeing all those really nice materials, some nice animation screens when you do hop inside, which is a nice touch here. But check out this door panel here. We have this open pore wood trim, ambient lighting integrated in here as well. Nice bright work accents we're getting on this Denali trim. And we can see a much larger metal speaker grill here for our Bose Performance Series audio system. Let's have a look at this interior space. This is an absolutely colossal upgrade over the previous generation GMC Acadia. And this is the new GMC interior. You're going to see this across the lineup now. And I think it's one of the best in the entire GM family of vehicles. So let's start up our Acadia and see what we're getting here in this Denali trim. For our engine start stop button right over here to our side. Everything comes to life quite quickly for us over here, and you can see we do have Super Cruise on this particular GMC Acadia, which is a fantastic option if you are a road tripping family. Let's start up with our driver zone over here. We have this all new steering wheel design we're going to be finding throughout the entire GMC lineup, and this is the Denali specific steering wheel here. So we can see that Denali badging right in the center of our airbag cover over here. Lots of bright work on this steering wheel as well, and we're also getting really nice luxurious stitching with the leather on this steering wheel for this Denali trim. Like I mentioned previously, here we have our Super Cruise bar up here, and we now have our shifter moved up to a column style shifter as the rest of the GM lineup has done. So we have drive, reverse, neutral, and park over here. We also have our low mode located on the steering wheel, which will allow you to use your paddle shifters as well to shift through that 8-speed automatic transmission if you so would like. That's really only because we have controls on the back of the steering wheel over here for volume and tuning your radio system as well. So that's why I think they have the paddle shifters locked but low, so you don't accidentally use one or the other, which is kind of a nice safety touch there. We also have a configurable gauge cluster over here. So if you like traditional gauges, this is going to be your option here. Pressing this button, we're going to see we have two different map views. So this is going to be our Google map view. If you are using Apple CarPlay, you will get an Apple Maps view over there. We also have this safety system style view here, which is going to show your distance, following control, and some other information. Otherwise, we can go right back to this display over here. This is a fully configurable side panel over here. Of course, on all GM vehicles, you can just go to your vehicle status and pick any one of these things in here and pop it over there, which is a nice touch. And we're always going to really be seeing our radio or navigation information on this right hand panel over there, which is also a nice touch. One thing I will complain about is there's no auto hold in this vehicle. This is over $60,000, and either I can't find it or it just does not have it. There's no button over here for auto brake hold, and I couldn't find it in the infotainment system, but that would be a nice luxurious feature I think that should be included on this all new GMC Acadia Denali. We also are getting a digital rear view camera over here for our mirror, which you can turn back into a regular style mirror. And if you do need to clean it, all you have to do is clean your rear windshield, and you'll see some water spray on there, and that will clean up your camera if it's dirty in rain or some snow or dust conditions there. Really nice dash structure and design. We have the stitching on the soft touch dash over here, and it has this really cool floating look over here with this nice enclosed instrument cluster. Really nice rich colors on this infotainment display. We also have the open pore wood on the whole dash with ambient lighting on there. You can see the nice strip all around there, which looks quite nice at night. I really like this Denali logo kind of embossed into the open pore wood trim. A really nice design for this interior. Same thing goes with this center console space over here. We have this nice stitching and padded area over here for our knees, which is a wonderful touch, and plenty of storage in here. Underneath this floating center console area over here, we have an insane amount of storage space. I have my hat over here for filming, but you can fit an entire purse or stuff easily over here, which I really don't see being an issue. It's just such a nice open space. Two cup holders over here with some nice grips in them, which is a nice touch, as well as this nice padded leather center armrest over here. Opening that up reveals a little cargo storage tray, which is removable, and that reveals even more storage down here. And it is so deep. I wish they almost optioned like a fridge in here. It's so big. And we do have a light in here, which is a nice touch as well. All of your charging stuff is going to be hidden under this wood lined console trim over here. So push this open forwards. It's going to reveal a wireless charging mat over here, as well as a USB-C and USB-A port. And we're going to have a little bit of some storage over here. And this is has a nice soft close feature to it. Feels nice premium, I think. And then we have the pièce de résistance of this interior here, and this massive 15-inch infotainment display over here. And I have to say, this might be one of my favorite layouts and implementations of this new infotainment software in the entire General Motors lineup. I just think it's the best kind of direction for it. Not many people like this kind of portrait style layout, but I think it works really well in this new GMC lineup. It's very easy to touch as a driver. I found the Traverse and the Blazer EV style screen, where it's this giant horizontal screen, a little bit difficult to reach and touch. This is really accessible, I think. The contrast and colors on it are really impressive. The speed of the infotainment system is
also very impressive. And you can do a lot of really cool things on here as well, which we'll get to in a second. But I want to point out that we have physical buttons over here for our climate controls. These are all physical buttons right here, which are really nice to turn on and off our climate controls, turn auto on and off. We can change our temperature and fan speed really easily with these up and down switches, which feel quite nice. And I'm glad they kept these buttons in here. I think people were really going to be upset if they didn't. And also they integrated it so nicely and so well. This is one of the best implementations of this I have seen in modern infotainment systems. We can also open up a climate menu as well if you would so like. This is going to unveil a whole bunch of more climate options for you in your center console display here. We also have a mute switch on the side of this panel right here. It's a little power button. You can see it will do a cool little animation on our volume knob, which is integrated into the display here. So you can see we can kind of control our volume on the display, which is pretty cool. And this feels pretty well, nice and tight on there. Now we do have panels over here for some quick access buttons. So all of our headlight controls are located in the display over here. Turn on and off our lane keep assist is a quick access button right there. And we can open up our controls panel here, which is going to give us our traction control stuff, our fog lights, heads-up display adjustments, our cameras, parking assist. This one even has as well, which is a nice safety feature, as well as a fun little gimmick to show some people as well. Our dome lighting controls. There's a lot of stuff built into the screen now, but thankfully we do have a quick access panel to get to it really from any screen we want. Now this is our main home screen panel over here. It's a little bit of a different layout than we're used to in some other GM products, but everything we have is pretty much all right here, from our Google Assistant to our vehicle status page over here, which gives us plenty of information. I really like this gauge layout page over here, as well as our maintenance and trip computers as well, all located in this center display, which I think is a cool little layout here. We also have some trailering options in this particular one, which is a nice touch. And of course, all these other options like our ambient lighting controls. We have so many different ambient light colors we can change this interior ambient light to, which is really nice. Wi-Fi hotspot as well. And if you download your My GMC app, that's going to be a wonderful thing to connect with your vehicle from your phone as well, and to connect it to some other smart features as well. So lots of fun stuff going on here. I really like this display. It's super quick, crisp, and I really have had no software issues whatsoever on the course of this week. Just some things and some occasions are a little bit clunky with this screen in terms of design, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So let's say you're doing a whole bunch of operations here. I want to have my heated seat turned on, but I need to change my lighting controls and open up this panel. There's just some layering here, which is a little bit strange. And sometimes you can't always just close these panels with a touch or kind of a little touch on the other screen. You kind of have to wait for them to time out. That's really the only weird software thing I've noticed in here, but you'll definitely get used to that. I think over time, it's not really that big of an issue. You have a nice big glove box over here, which is a nice touch. It doesn't seem to be lockable, which I would like to see on a nice big family SUV, but it is a nice big additional storage space in here. And then we have to talk about these seats, which are heated, which is a really nice touch. They don't appear to have any ventilation. Oh, they do have ventilation as well, which is a nice feature since they are perforated. And we do have the nice Denali logo kind of stitched into our headrests over here. Nice quilting, as we saw on those second row captain's chairs. And we do have some bolstering actually over here, which we do not get on the second row. Are they the best seats in this class and in this kind of segment? I don't think so. They're really nice seats, nice upholstered seats, though. I think the structure of the seats could be a little bit more premium. I'd like to see some more thigh support, a little bit more lumbar options, as well as maybe a massage would be a nice touch as well. This particular Denali one does not have it, though. It could be available in an additional package. They configured it does not work on GMC's website as of this filming, so I couldn't really decipher that too much for you guys. But overall, I think they're quite nice, comfortable for road trips, and they're big enough. I think they'll fit all sizes of people, so I really would never have to worry about that if looking at this particular vehicle. And you have such amount of space in this front seat to sit. I have so much leg room, so much shoulder room as well. I'm not a big person, but I can really stretch out in here. So that's a really big plus. Pretty comfortable armrests. They could be a little bit thicker on the end portion over here to help rest your arms a little bit. I do feel like I'm reaching over just quite a bit, but you just have a lot of space in there, which is really nice. Again, automatic wipers, almost forgot to point that out. And here's your all-wheel drive button when you do have to activate your all-wheel drive mode. And we have those few different drive modes as well, which will pop up in our center console over here. So we have tow haul, as well as snow, ice, off-road mode, which locks it in all-wheel drive, sport mode as well, and our normal drive mode. No eco modes, unfortunately, in this vehicle, so you'll always just have to be driving efficiently to get the best MPG. But otherwise, I think this is a pretty nice cabin. It definitely feels upscale, way better than anything GMC has kind of made in the past, I'd have to say. And this is a good future, I think, for the brand, good direction. And if you're looking for a very tech-forward cabin with a lot of style and some nice luxury features dashed into this, this is probably one of the best in the segment right now. I have to say, definitely better, I think, in terms of versus like a Telluride or a Palisade even. It's that nice of an interior space. But let's go take this thing on a drive and see how it handles out on the road. Okay guys, we're going to take this 2024 GMC Acadia Denali out here onto the highway now, and we're going to put that 2.5 liter turbo 4 to the test, because some people may want to say, oh, you know, this new 4-cylinder engine isn't as strong or isn't as powerful as the V6, but it has more power, I can tell you that. And it definitely has some nice get up and go onto it, especially when getting onto the highway and merging, especially with Super Cruise here. It's just a really great overall experience out here on the highway here. So have a listen to this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder accelerating. It gets up and goes really quick with almost near 330 pound-feet of torque. You really do get that torque low in the red range. It spools up. It isn't the most refined sound, I would say, but I think it's totally fine for this vehicle and class. Again, I mentioned this in the full tour review, but we'll definitely have to wait and see if there's any issues or reliability stuff down the road. This is a pretty new engine overall. This 8-speed automatic, it's a different from the old 9-speed. It's definitely an improvement, I would say. It's smooth in its gear shifts, but it's definitely fuel economy focused. 8 and 7 and I think 6 are all just like overdrive gears in this vehicle. Let's merge over here onto the highway now. Really smooth out here on the highway, and I have to say generally it's quite quiet as well. You really don't hear any sort of tire noise or underbody noise whatsoever. Pretty good padding and sound insulation in that aspect. We also have some active sound cancellation happening through this Bose audio speaking over here, which is pretty nice. And these are 22-inch wheels, so it's nice to see that we are getting both a good, soft, comfortable ride out of this, as well as having not a lot of road noise coming in. But now I will say there is a lot of glass on this vehicle, which is great in terms of visibility. I would say over some bumps and undulations, you definitely do notice it's a little bit tuned on the more firmer side in some scenarios, and you do feel some of that coming into the cabin. Just over some rough pavement here, very light brushing over it, but over some more bumps, you do kind of feel that a little bit in the cabin. It'd be nice to see this even more softly damped and tuned, but I think just for this platform, this is really some of the most luxurious end of it that you're going to be getting. Now you definitely do need to step into the accelerator pedal to really get this engine into its power band, get it to downshift. I don't think it's really the engine, it's more so this gearbox, and just having it to kick down. It takes just a little bit of a second, but once you do, it gets up to speed pretty quickly. Fuel economy, I did mention this in the full tour review, is pretty okay, I think, for this class. Nothing crazy outstanding. There's no sort of hybrid or plug-in hybrid or electrified technology really going on here. It's just a naturally aspirated it's just a turbocharged gas engine under the hood we have here, but otherwise I think it's pretty good. You're going to average around 23-ish, 22 mpg on the highway, which really isn't too bad for such a large vehicle. It's nearly the size of the full-size Yukon. It's that big now. And since we do have the fantastic Super Cruise package on this all-new GMC Acadia Denali here, it works well on highways, really well. Over 750,000 miles of pre-mapped roads already on the system here, and it's really, really a fantastic experience, and it's so easy to operate. Just make sure your adaptive cruise control is on, and when the steering wheel is available, it pops up on your dash over here. You'll be able to enable that Super Cruise function and go some hands-free driving. As you can see, it's popping on now. It should appear just in a second over here. I have to say, this is going to be a highway vehicle at the end of the day. You're definitely going to want to be going on a lot of road trips because you can haul just so much stuff and cargo and passengers in here. This is going to be where the Acadia really is going to be shining. It's pretty comfortable, very smooth on the highway. This engine, like I said, pretty good torque to get you up and go and around the highway as well, and you really don't have to worry about that power whatsoever. Fuel economy, like I mentioned, a nice information and displays that can display that stuff over here for you. Right now we're averaging 19.6. That will definitely climb. We just kind of started this trip over here, so pretty good. Pretty good vehicle so far. I'm really impressed. I would have to say, over a vehicle we just tested recently, the 2025 Ford Explorer, that is also a nice facelift. This is definitely going to offer you more cargo space in the interior, as well as just more overall passengers volume as well. The Explorer is a little bit on the smaller end of it. I would definitely pitch it more against like a Highlander or a Grand Cherokee L in that aspect. This is definitely going to be in a much larger area of this mid-size class, with things like the Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade, and then the Toyota Grand Highlander as well. There's a little bit larger vehicles, but still a really fantastic offering now. And now you have 3 flavors of this you can really choose from: the Acadia, the Buick Enclave, or the Chevrolet Traverse. All pretty much identical in their dimensions, just definitely totally different in their visual looks, as well as interior layouts, technology, and dimensions here. So this is a great new offering from GMC. Glad they really kind of developed their own design in this interior, their own kind of feel and ethos. It definitely helps to differentiate it from its GM siblings as well.